for tuning in to Your Financial Solutions. We have a great show for you today, and we'll be right back after these messages.
This can't be happening.
This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Okay, we're back. I want to introduce you to our first guest, Dr. Macy King of Metamorphosis Incorporated, a nonprofit. Hello, doctor. How you doing?
Hi, Dr. Gurnett is glad to be here on your show today.
Okay. Now, I was looking at your name, Metamorphosis, and that means a change.
It means change, it means transformation, it means renewal, it means being resurrected and create a new creator, a creature in Christ Jesus, and just being a new being. You're changing your life from one thing, something that might be negative that you don't like about yourself, to something that's very new and exciting about yourself. So basic metamorphosis is a means by which people who might have issues can be restored to new life and new hope, or that you something about your personality that you don't like. We help you to change your whole concept about yourself, about the world, and about people that are around you.
Okay, who do you work with? I mean, what group of people do you work with?
I work with the community.
Okay.
I work with veterans. I work with children and family services. I work with persons who have mental or behavior disorders. I work with local churches and civic organizations, or any agency that wants to help people to make a difference in their lives or to change in their lives.
Now, you talk about veterans. What do you do with veterans? I know there's been a lot of need for veteran services in this area.
That's a good question. The reason why I'm so interested in veterans, my husband is a Vietnam veteran, and therefore he was talking to me about veterans being homeless, not having a place to stay, or veterans not able to get jobs, and also veterans who have PTSD and other family issues. And so I got with a friend of mine, and we started talking about what we could do to make a difference for veterans. And they need housing, they need finances, they need resources for their benefits. A lot of them are not aware of the benefits that they can get as veterans. And so therefore we become a resource for them so that they'll be able to get benefits. We also are looking at acquiring property that we can house veterans so that they won't be on the streets. For people who have given their lives and time for us, that means we need to be doing something for them when they get home. And so therefore we look for funding, we look for sponsors to help us with metamorphosis, we look for volunteers that will be able to mentor and be support for them, as well as help us to find jobs for them, and also to counsel them with PTSD, and not only just the veterans but the families as well, because there's such thing as secondary PTSD for family members.
I've heard about that, where in a lot of instances the families of these veterans need counseling also, just as the veterans.
Yes, yes. And being a wife of a veteran,
Okay.
it's really interesting is that you look at, and because I am a counselor and I've had pastoral care and counseling, I know some of the issues and some of the things that we need to talk about. And there are times that I recognize the fact that I have to step back and say, oh, that's something that he has to deal with on himself, and I can't go to him and just charge into him and say, well, you need to do such.
Okay.
But back up and say, am I reacting to something he said, or is it something within myself that is causing me to react to him? So what we plan to do with Metamorphosis is to help families to recognize key points and key issues that might arise so they know how to handle it in a positive way. So that it'll be a win-win for everybody in the family, and that the family won't break up because of the PTSD, but that the family can stay together and find new ways of communicating and doing things together as a family.
Yeah, that's very important. And also, one thing I want to hit for while we have some time is that you mentioned to me previously about helping like women who are in abusive situations and their children.
Mm-hmm.
What type of programs are you going to have for those type of people?
What we try to do for women who have been abused is to really have group counseling programs. We also will have there are better homes for women who have been battered and abused, and connecting them with those homes and connecting them with mentors that will help them to realize that they can get out of that situation, that they don't have to stay in it, and also giving them counseling so that they will begin to see what it is that they're looking for in a relationship, rather than blaming themselves or sticking to that person that's abusive. And so helping them to find resources, also to help them to look at themselves. Because sometimes women get in abusive situations because they have poor self-esteem, and that we're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Okay.
So basically, looking at resources for them.
You know, I think your organization has a very good name, Metamorphosis, where you change from one thing to another, where a caterpillar could become a butterfly. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, and we'll be right back after these messages.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man. Women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60. 2 over 50. 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
The Triangle of Health is a simple, easy-to-use nutritional system that has genuine, positive effects on your physical health. Improving your well-being greatly impacts your life, career, and relationships. You might accomplish something extra at work, or spend a little more quality time with a loved one. Better health and nutrition enables you to experience more.
I'm Jerry Williams, your local county consultant. Call us no matter your condition. I can be reached at 706-619-2600.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back. We are here today with a very good friend of mine, Dr. LaMarcus Hudson of Greater Faith Ministries. Welcome, Dr. Hudson. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Good to see you again. And you have a book that I think is so great that called The Financial Solutions for the Believer. It comes with a workbook too.
Yes, sir.
What's this book about anyway?
The book starts off talking about what's your money DNA. And
Okay.
DNA stands for decision making, need, or assessment. And what it talks about with your decision making is what decisions are you making with your money? What need do you have? And is it a real need? Is it a need? And also talks about the assessment of your attitude. What attitude you have towards money, because many people don't realize that money has a courtesy to it. The Bible says that money is the answer to all things. And since money is the answer to all things, Dr. Gunnar, it makes me wonder, why do we have all the questions if money have all the answers?
Okay, that's very good. And you know, I got to say that a lot of people who are Christians, like I am, and I know you are,
Yes, sir.
feel that, well, money is something evil or wrong, and that's not what you're trying to say, is it?
No, sir, it's not. It's not evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil, and a lot of us psychologically has been taught that it's wrong to want more. But in the book, I talk about 3 agents that helps us deal with money, and that reveals to us how we feel about money. And that's your belief system, that's your association, and that's your culture. Your belief system is tied to your philosophy versus theology. It's tied to Babylon versus the kingdom.
Okay.
Now your association is tied to whose perception did you listen to affect your mentality towards money. Now your culture is tied to the history of how your family spend or how they invest their money.
Okay. You know, that's very good. Now, your book has a lot of fundamental, basic things that we should do. Now, there's also a workbook where you can actually follow along and put these theories into action.
Yes, sir. For example, in the workbook, we have a basic savings plan that most people don't pay attention to, where you can take 25 cents per day for a year, and you can save $91.25. Or you can take $200 per week for a year, and you will save $10,000 and $10,400 that you will be able to save. But a lot of people don't take things like this in consideration.
Okay.
Because it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you have.
Okay, it's how you budget, how you look at it, what's your philosophy, is that what you're saying?
Yes, because we have to make money in the U.S., we consider it to be income, right? But so if money is income, and the income goes into your hand, then you should be in control of your outcome. Okay. And a lot of people are allowing other people's hand being in their money to determine the outcome for their lives.
Okay, that's very interesting and very thought-provoking also. Where you're in control of your own destiny, where you put your money in a position to control what you want, your destiny.
Exactly.
Your desires, okay.
Exactly. Also, you know, the Bible says that no man can serve 2 masters. If you hate one, to love the other one. The Bible considers money to be mammon. And you said earlier about people saying money was evil. But if money is so evil, then how could we serve God without it?
Well, you can't, because churches can't run without money and things such as that. Now, I got to say this. Your church, Greater Faith Ministries.
Yes, sir.
You have a program that I really, really love. And I got to say that I have been to your workshops on setting up businesses.
Yes, sir.
And doing what my specialty is, financing of businesses and things
yes,
like that. And when I spoke at your church in these workshops that you have, I was so impressed that you not only had the adults in your congregation there, you had the teenagers in your congregation there. You also had the little children. Like, I actually was surprised I saw 2nd, 3rd, 4th graders taking notes about how to start a business. I can start a business. I can work for myself. I can build wealth on my own. And if you teach that to the children in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, it's going to come out better in the long run.
Right, and that's the difference between other cultures and disciplines that they have that we as a African American race lack, and that's passing it on to the next generation. Our government teach retirement, but the body of Christ, we teach inheritance. And so we are walking that principle out of passing on the inheritance, the information, the wealth, the knowledge to the next generation.
Okay, that's really great. Now you have these workshops every, September or so?
September, and different ones, September and October, but we have them annually.
Okay, annually. And these workshops are where speakers come in, because I've been to all of your workshops.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you have really good speakers talking about different things. And you also have many, many businesses there where you can actually tell other people about what you do.
Yes, sir, because we believe in networking businesses, because there's a lot of African American businesses that are out there that we know anything about.
That's true. I got to admit, when I did, every time I went to one of your workshops without a speaker or just a vendor, I always ran into somebody and said, "I didn't know you did that."
Yes, sir. Right, exactly.
That's what you say. I need that.
Right.
So, and I have actually done business with some of those people because I didn't know that services existed.
That's right. That's right. And I want to let the community know that we are doing an event in September, and it's called 4C Community Connect Channel Commerce. And it's about businesses and local companies and vendors that will be offering services for the community. And it is free to the public, and it will be held at Diamonds Lake Community Center. That's 103 Diamond Lake Way, Hillsborough, Georgia, 30815. And if you're interested in any services that we can offer you, you can find us at 243 Millersville Road, Augusta, Georgia, Greater Faith Ministries of Augusta. You also can email me at drlamarcus.hudson@gmail.com, and you also can contact me, my office, at 706-251-1356 for any services that you feel that we can help you with, because we do financial workshops also.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hudson. It's great to have you here. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hudson. Now we'll be right back after these messages.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, apple, honey, and berry blend, strawberry, wildberry, tangerine, mango, raspberry, wintergreen. That's how you make cancer sweet. Why do they make tobacco taste sweet? Oh, why do they make tobacco taste sweet?
Welcome back. We're here today with Chris Dowse. Good to see you, Chris.
Hey, good to see you again, Dr. Garnett.
Okay, and I see from your card that you're a State Farm agent.
That's right, right here in the great city of Augusta.
Where your office is located?
It's on 2100 Central Avenue, Suite D4 here in Augusta, but we also service South Carolina as well, too.
Okay, that's great to know. Now, the name of our show is Your Financial Solutions.
Right.
And with State Farm, I assume you do life, health, auto, and business also.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about business first. What type of business insurances do you do?
Well, we provide the general liability coverage, of course, for plenty of businesses, as well as the workers' compensation piece.
Okay.
Something that we do, people don't know a lot about, is the bonds. Bonds for different contractors who need to get work here in the city. We provide that for them as well, too, as well as group life insurance for certain businesses who have, 5 or more employees that they want to provide life insurance as a benefit for them working at their company. We have a whole suite of products for the business clients here in the area.
Okay, now that's not something that a lot of people know about State Farm, about the business aspect of it. Now, as far as bonding, I know that in my firm, we deal with business all the time, try and get them financing, and they will have a situation where they will have a contract to do something, but they kind of fumble the ball on, well, where do I get the bond and all this kind of stuff? 'Cause it's a requirement, isn't it?
Right. I mean, it's a requirement. For certain jobs you want to bid on, you have to have bonds for certain amounts. And there's an application process. And of course, you know, some people, for lack of preparation, just are not ready to get it done. Of course, the best thing to do is start as early as possible, especially if you know you're getting ready to do a contract or want a contract to happen, get it done early. I've had people call me on a Thursday and needing a bond on Friday.
Okay.
Because I'm Chris Dowse, I can get it done.
That's great.
At the same time, though, you know, it can, you know, hamper things a little bit if they don't have everything ready to go that I need to get it done that fast.
So, just the way I'm hearing this, so if I'm a contractor, I want to get if I want to bid on a contract,
Right.
bid on a project or whatever, I should contact you first.
Yeah, contact me and say, hey, you know, I'm getting ready to bid on this job for example, we have Augusta University building this beautiful facility for the Cyber Command right here in Augusta.
Right.
Okay, so you come to me and say, hey, I need a bond to bid on this job for X amount of dollars. I tell you what you need to do, you submit the application to me, we get it sent in, and the bond gets issued. It's pretty that simple, as long as you have all your paperwork.
Okay, and I assume that you will help the person through the process, doing the paperwork, telling them what they need to do.
Absolutely.
And getting their ducks in a row.
Right, absolutely. Because I make myself very available, okay? I don't work traditional hours in my office. You know, my clients that deal with me have my cell phone number, so I get text messages, phone calls, you name it, in the morning, late at night, it's when night. Because in the end, we're trying to get business done and trying to do what needs to be done to help our community. And in my opinion, that's what we're doing. We're here to serve the community.
Okay, now, I really appreciate that because a lot of people don't know that this service is available from State Farm.
Right.
Or that you have somebody who is going to be working with them one-on-one
Right.
to get it done rather than a nameless, faceless company that says, send this in and we might take you, but we don't care about you. Because personally, when I'm dealing with somebody, no matter how big they are, I'd rather have somebody who cares about me and what's going to happen to me in this situation.
Right, that's important because it's a win-win situation because we both have to work together. And the way I see it is the Lord gave me this opportunity to have this agency, so why would I put restrictions? But I do have one, and that is on Sundays. Don't do any business on Sunday. But you got 6 days a week for us to get it done, so let's make it happen.
I understand that. Now, you mentioned something about community. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about the State Farm community charities and things such as that.
Well, normally what happens is every year we normally do a neighborhood assist grant program where young people, well not young people, anyone can apply for this grant in order to get money for their community. Okay, there's a window when it happens. That's one way. The second thing, agents, we spend our own money a lot of times doing things in the community, whether it be back to school drives. I got one coming up that I'm participating in with another church, golf tournaments, you name it. The agent does a lot of that themselves, and in some cases there's some money that you can get access to from State Farm.
Now, these community grants, what are they aimed toward? Anything?
Well, it has to have a certain purpose, okay?
course.
It has a purpose, and the organization, of course, has to be legitimate, but it's a very simple application process that you have to complete. You send it in, you fill it out, and then once it goes in, then there's a voting process to determine who gets it. And at that point, for example, there was a high school down in South Georgia that won it not too long ago, and they had a concert that they won by the band Perry. They came out and performed for them, and the money went there. Hopefully, we'll get some people in our community that'll apply, and we'll get that money here.
You know, that's a very good thing you said, because a lot of times there will be resources out there that are available and people just don't know about them. People just don't know about them. I know in my firm, we write grants, and I've had people come to me and said, I want a grant written, but they have no idea, so we have to do the research to do the grant for them.
Right.
They might have a great program, but you have to know where to go.
Right. And you also have to, you can't be lazy. If it's something that you really, really want, you have to put forth the effort, find out the information. And sometimes it could be the person sitting right next to you that knows all about it, that can give you information. So I do consider myself a resource for business owners and for those who have needs personally. We run the gamut. We've been doing this for a very long time as a company. This next month on the 1st will be my 6th year as an agent, and I started without any clients. So, to be here takes work. And some people have to just understand it takes a little bit of work.
I understand that now. And as a business owner myself, you really have to know no one's going to beat your door down to try and get your services. And you have to go out there and make yourself available. And what I also stress to all of my clients is that in working with them, I can get you this money, but you got to handle it responsibly. And you have to be a business person.
Right.
And you have to do what you've done. Like
Right.
you said, you have to go out and be professional
Right.
and do what you're supposed to do and deliver service.
And protect your assets.
Right.
I mean, you're your greatest asset. And most people don't protect their assets, from life insurance to liability exposure, etc. You have barbers, for example, who may be doing some barbering services and have no insurance. What happens if they apply their own color or cut one of their clients or something? You have to make sure you protect yourself. Coverage is very, very important, and believe it or not, is actually affordable.
Great, that's great. You gave us a lot of great information. Thanks, Chris, for being here. Appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine, Dr. Annette. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages. Thank you for watching our show.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Thank you for tuning in to our show today. We hope we gave you some information to help you with your financial solutions.